good start against a lot of these other heroes. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of things that we can look forward to for both of these two teams.
He's got a lot to live up to after the performance of Storm Spirit that we just saw, right? Like, it was pretty impressive, but Chira Jr.'s got the stuff to be able to match that.
Very true. It is also good seeing Solo back on the Dazzle. Brings back some old memories.
You blew it! You blew it!
Alright, they're going to crank the smoke 40 seconds into the game. See if they're able to find anybody just yet. Queasy gets a nice little ward in the middle lane here, and same with Chira Jr.
30 seconds to battle.
But
did he use the Light Strike Array on a specific tree on Shigetsu? Because he's already leveled it up. Some people put just the 1 point into the Dragon Slave as well, particularly when you're playing the position 1. So I'm interested to see if his attitude is going to be similar to Satanic's in that way, just using it as a Fiery Soul reapplicator.
I feel like that's probably a good way of doing it. I mean, the Dragon Slave will be able to get rid of a lot of these TB illusions quite quickly, so I wouldn't hate to see it.
Sure, but maybe they think the Maelstrom procs will be able to do that too, and you just want to make sure that you're living a little better off the back of leveling stats instead.
Yes, to me it all kind of depends on how the game's going. Do you need the stats? Do you want to try and get that extra burst with Dragon Slave? Wait and see. I feel like a lot of carry players are much more... There is very few spells in the game that they actually want to level. And I feel like if they can level stats from level 1, I feel like a lot of carry players would.
Yeah, they're sick in the head, I agree.
Carry players.
I mean, I still remember like watching Sing Sing back in the day, playing with friends, and then he would level up stats and then swap hero with a friend just to ruin their day.
So right now we're just starting off with a big intro to this first wave for Chira Jr. 5-1. So got every creep so far, looking to try and get a few more. So that one as well. So nice little start to these first couple of waves here for Chira Jr. Whereas Nicky Cool's just copping a licking.
I wonder how chill this start of the game is going to be. Like, they're just going to be going back and forth. Both of them kind of need to be spamming out their spells pretty frequently. So, in terms of the race to the bottle, Chira Jr. is going to get that one. Come out on top in that one, excuse me. But beyond that, like, how well are they going to be able to, just get that magic stick up really quickly? How well are they going to be able to trade? Who's the better team as well at being able to make a rotation to be able to get that first blood in the mid lane? Because I really feel like the ultimate's going to be pretty vital at the very start of this game. That's going to be at the stage where TA 2000 still won't have a ton of mana to be able to play around, HP to be able to play around with. So an early rotation coming through from Timber could be enormous.
Yeah. And being able to put the pressure on the Terrorblade just kind of sets back the tempo for the side of Cyber Goose. So if that's where you want to lean, if you are the Runa team, it's a good place to start. So we'll see where these first couple of moves come from. I'd imagine it's probably looking towards the side of Cyber Goose. Just having problem walk around on the Shadow Shaman, I'd imagine is where you're going to be looking. Solo's not really going to be able to do much on a Dazzle, but much conversely for Runa team, Naga Siren's probably not going to make too many rotations. It's mainly just going to be on the Wind Ranger for them to walk around. So see how it ends up.
Yeah, for sure. Straight up rushing a Falcon Blade, it seems, as well, on Shigetsu, realizing that he's not really in a position to be under too much distress, although H2OB, see how strong the Naga Siren actually is. Plenty of armor to be able to play around with. 330 base movement speed must be nice to be able to have something like that. Only wish.
It seems like a few too many years playing Crystal Maiden.
Yeah. Wyvern's not great either, it's like 285.
Now for TA2000. Wants to try and get a little bit of a fight going here against Alberca, but all this damage is starting to come back towards him on TA2000. He's getting gooed up, he's getting clicked up as well. Does have a lot of these stick charges, so it seems like he's okay for now.
I think he would have actually died there if the power shot ended up hitting onto him. It was the heal came just a split second after the fact as well. And, I mean, if they are going to make those attempts, it's a really risky situation to be in, because even with all of TB's armor, he was still brought down to 2 off the back of all of those viscous nasals Goose stacks that built up onto him.
It just makes it really hard for him to even get close to trying to contest with the amount of minus armor that comes in from Alberca. And if you're Dazzle, you go anywhere close to that, you get 1 or 2 snots, and it's kind of negative city for you.
Yep. Alberca as well, though, isn't exactly having the best time overall. I mean, he's behind the TB on net worth. He's still level 2, not yet level 3, so these quill sprays aren't actually doing all that much damage, and it's making it quite hard for him to last hit. Doing his best to try and disrupt any way possible, but even though TA2000 doesn't necessarily have the highest net worth himself, he's still in an awful spot.
Yeah, till the end, gets brought back, and the first blood will go the way of the Kunkka. So notice, starting out with a nice little intro to this top lane back
Okay.
down the night Sirens.
Will be okay. Be careful about where he's running. I mean, TB Orpheus illusion that was just hitting into Queasy, wanting to get rid of that that clarity that he had on himself, but would have potentially turned his attention towards Alberca instead and a kill on towards him.
Wasn't close enough just yet to be able to get that, but I'm going to see now going on to Shigetsu. So notice we'll get that Tidebringer as well. They're going to come in with the Shackle, so Big Stick comes in there once again from Shigetsu, maybe with another Tidebringer. No, it's still off cooldown. So they do a lot of damage there to Shigetsu, and with Till the End coming in with that Deluge, it's very hard for them to try and fight back into the Naga Siren.
Pretty good Kunkka game the more I look at it, right? Like, you've got the ability to be left alone in this lane and have a bunch of stacks be made up for you. Blade Mail, amazing item this game, just in terms of turning back a lot of the damage that Shigetsu is going to be putting it onto you. Timber has a lot of unavoidable damage, Bristle has a lot of unavoidable damage, and then straight into the Radiance after that. So helps you deal with the Naga illusions, does a little bit of that extra damage to the Timber as well, helps you farm, and they're just going to have such a rough time taking him down that it's going to give him so much value this game.
They're looking to try and see if they can make this rotation to TA2000. It's what you touched on just before with the Timber Saw for Nicky Cool. We'll just leave it be for now, so he's just going to walk away. Didn't want to put the emphasis on it, and early level 6 now for the Timber Saw means that there is potential for them to get that kill.
Spotted out by the Observer that he'd placed down previously, but no kill on the TB, but no significant damage onto the mid tier 1 tower as well. Really does just feel like Alberca, his main role is just live for as long as possible. You are the Lina enabler at this stage. You're not going to be doing too much killing in your own right. It's just a matter of what can the rest of the team get done when they try and go for you. So, wonder if there might be some baiting going on so far this, well, not so far this game, but eventually this game. As he gets the, wonder if he's even going to go for a halberd this game, or if it's going to be more of a Crimson Guard that he's leaning towards.
It's a good question. The illusions probably leans me towards the Crimson Guard. Halberd being Halberd leans me towards the Halberd. I feel like Crimson's probably the better way to do it. Just provide that enablement to the rest of the team. Amplify damage
There's
through.
that rotation.
And that is just Nicky Cool just getting the freest to a TA 2000 kill I've ever seen in my life. And Solo will be able to at least get out of that one.
That's the other aspect as well that I didn't quite think of is up top. They're actually making a bit of a play here onto Shigetsu, and they should be able to secure it.
Yeah, on the tower, they get the kill.
Yep. Thought Queasy was actually TPing up there, but instead TPs to mid to get a bit of this free farm. Gets a shield rune from himself as well, denying it away from Chira Jr. Going up against the Dazzle, they do have the kill shot as well, so works like an axe execute. They'll actually look to be able to take him out even with the Shattered Rave. So
Right, Chira Jr. goes in there on the Nicky Cool, but that's a lot of burst damage that goes forward on from the Timbersaw. Now Chiro Jr. looking to try and get this kill onto the Timbersaw. They do. Now once again looking to try and set their sights on until the end. And they take down the Naga. So a big rotation there from the Storm Spirit. Much like the Timber, his counterpart. Turn around and get a kill on a big call.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I'm really going to be interested to see, like, once these team fights really start breaking out in earnest, how is Queasy going to be using that power shot? Because 9-second cooldown, still pretty significant early on into the team fight. So is he actually just going to hold it entirely for any sort of, shallow grave TP escape potential?
Good question. I feel like that's going to be a lot of finesse. And notice they don't have damage.
Not in range.
Oh, that
Legolas.
on my screen. I've got a little bit of packet loss on my end, so that looked like the animation was nowhere near noticed. But
it's just one of those things where you're coming up or down a stairs that it's just all bonky. Yeah.
But good snipe there from Queasy. Ooh, solo. Oh, solo. An awkward spot here for the Dazzle. They will just be able to power shot away and take him down.
Queasy getting involved. Last 2 kills in the game. Extra harassment in onto this tower. Doesn't look like Shigetsu should be in any sort of danger. Oh, very nicely done. Timing of the electric vortex to be able to stop the Timbersaw from escaping, and they should be able to go for more as well on top of this. Still not yet level 6 on into the end.
There's a lot of mana that Chiro Jr. still be able to walk around with here. Doesn't get the next static remnant, looking to try and convert it, and it is a triple kill for Chiro Jr. 4-0-1 right now, 2 of those kills being on the enemy Timber. He is starting out red hot, and this is exactly what you want if you are the Cyber Geese.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's just been... Again, something about these Eastern European Storm players, man. Even, we haven't seen him play it, but Kiyotaka plays a mean Storm as well. Seen Lyle do it as well from that mid lane, so... Nutty.
I mean, you've even got the OG Goku one.
True.
Been one of those players for a long time. Been able to whip him out. Question is for you, Matt. What noise does a Cyber Goose make?
Like a dial-up modem. All the Zoomers in chat will be like, what's a dial-up? But I actually had a friend, so... Hold on. Let's wait for this guy.
Well, I mean, Chiro Jr. is just going to get a free kill.
Yes. The galvanizing out of control. I've told you this, but no one else knows. I played an online version of Survivor, and one of the people that I ended up playing with, he was like 18, and he was, on the other side. I ended up voting him out, get wrecked. He didn't know what dial-up was, and I'm like, oh, goddamn no.
Yep. Makes you feel
I ended up getting second, by the way, lost by 1 vote at the very end.
Feels bad, man. Matt, the Ultimate Survivor, online.
The best loser.
Well, again, it is a good start here from the Cyber Geese. Building up a few more of these stacks here as well for Noticed, who's just going to start cleaving through them. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's go time for the Storm, but, they've taken that tier 1 tower. They've taken the tier 1 tower top as well. This kind of unlocks him for a little bit here for Chiro Jr. Got the Kaya built up. He's going to go directly into the Kaya Sanj. It's going to be a bit of a menace. Let's play around this map.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's just anything that's going to amp up that regen for himself is going to feel amazing. Sometimes I feel horrible for these supports just because I've been there before. Like, they literally had no idea that Nagasiren was coming to place an Observer Ward, and the second after they placed a Sentry. So you just got 0 value out of it. It's like, man, why do I even bother sometimes?
Does feel really bad when that happens, but sometimes you just end up playing a better position and you just play offlane instead and you don't have to worry about that. Let's go.
Yeah, you're an offlane Wraith King player though, so your opinion is invalid.
True. Build auras, walk forward. That is the mantra of the offlane.
Dire's bottom tower.
Right, so smoke up here. They're going to see if they can try and get a core kill under a tier 1 tower and see if they can turn that into another tower. They're going to go here onto Alberca. They do have Queasy here available as well, but it's a lot of damage they can go out here onto that Bristleback. But you can just see how many of these Goose stacks go out when the Snock Rockets come down. TA2000 is still able to hold up here, and the Dazzle is just trying to keep them up with the Weave armor.
So he did end up going the Halberd, huh? Doesn't really matter if you're getting chained 100 to 0. Then again, doesn't really matter if you go Crimson Guard in that sort of scenario either, but it's just one of those things where it's like, what would actually save you in that position other than like a really quick Naga TP and Song of the Siren? Speaking of Naga, able to dodge out the torrent, very nicely done with a mirror image, but only just hit her level 6. So at least now that you've got that press in case of emergency ability to be able to play around with, but I have to wonder how they're going to be able to make up this net worth deficit, because it's already at 4k. I have to say almost exclusively off the back of Chira Jr., but everyone's doing a pretty good job. And noticed again, like, how are they going to kill him with any consistency?
Solo is able to get in onto the party, and they get another kill by taking down till the end, the bottom side. Now they're looking to try and see if they can get some damage onto Alberca. He continues to walk away for free. TA2000 takes the rest of the tier 2 tower, and the Cyber Geese continue to march forward. That was something that I looked at roughly around about the 10-minute mark. Oh, that Shadow Wave damage, damn.
Yep.
I was pretty much in the same boat as you, right? You know, basically just being like, oh, this net worth lead is mainly just Chira Jr. Nope. But it's actually just everyone just doing such a good time. Obviously noticed getting that first blood. TA2000 really didn't get pressed too hard in that lane either. So, I mean, Cyber Goose just were able to stay in a good spot.
This is the thing, like, it really just does go back to what I was talking about in terms of who's going to lane where. And I feel like the Bristleback laning into the TB was a mistake, you know? Like, you just weren't able to get too much done of anything. And look at what it's resulted in, like more than a 2k net worth lead just in that lane specifically, because if you only do physical damage and you're against the highest armor hero in the game, what are you expecting to happen?
That's a good question. Chira Jr. just on the aggressive. Just sees out Nicky Cool and just goes, yep, I'm just going to walk in. Oh, I mean, this is the problem with Storm. Is just like, it's so hard to lock them down. And I mean, I hadn't even touched on it, but look at the heroes for Runa team. How do they catch a Storm Spirit?
The Atos that Queasy's buying.
Yeah, I guess so.
Basically it. Atos into Light Strike, into Shackle, into Ensnare. Like, it's all very, very slow to come out. A lot of these lockdowns. I mean, even the Atos, right? You basically need to be on top of him already.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard task, I feel like, especially with the BKB. That's why I'm really enjoying this Kai Assange pickup from Chira Jr. He's able to just constantly walk around the map and be basically at no threat of losing their life. Potentially could find Queasy.
I feel like we're going to remember why Poor Man's Shield was taken out of the game pretty quickly, because it's only just been pretty recently re-added in, and it's like, oh, see you later, Queasy. Maybe not.
Didn't want to overextend with till the end around.
But I mean, you just go out on a hero like Kunkka, right? The Poor Man's Shield. And he's got a bunch of lifesteal and spell lifesteal, and he's got a blade mail, and he's got Admiral's Rum. Like, how are you supposed to actually kill this guy? And it just means that he's pretty unopposed going to be able to get into this 18-minute Radiance on an off lane with a blade mail as well. Like, it's just, it's too much.
And especially with the Admiral's Rum as well, as he's like innate. So he takes less damage already, and then he has all this block and all this auto attack damage. Just doesn't really do anything for you. Then he builds armor naturally because he likes playing blade mail because of Admiral's Rum. So yeah, I mean, there is very obvious reasons as to why things are taken out. Shigetsu put out here by Chira Jr. This is the potential for them to actually get the kill. Light Strike Array, Laguna Blade, kill shot. So that is the...
Not the hero you want it to go on to, though. Oh, maybe it is. It'll give him his Atos.
I was going to say, that's the overstep that Chira Jr. didn't want to do earlier. But unfortunately, he did it this time around. Alberca lot of these Goose stacks are going to go forward here. Comes in with the boat. They get a lot of this extra damage. They do get the shackles going forward as well here from Problem. Alberca getting very, very low. They're seeing if they can try and get this kill onto him. They do. So executed there by Solo. But look at all the Goose stacks, man. That's the funny part. Is they all end up with like 7 to 8 Goose stacks on them by the time he's dead.
Yeah. It takes a lot to be able to kill him. He waited until he was about 10% HP to even use his halberd as well. Wasn't the perfect stun combination either. Could have potentially lowered a little bit of the damage coming out from Noticed, but yeah, no, it's not been the greatest game so far for Alberca. Maybe it could change, although this would hurt if your core ends up getting killed up on the top side, having gone basically 0 stats as well. Like Falcon Blade gives a little stats, but outside of that, she's still squishy as hell. Mjolnir not really going to change things either.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time until she becomes hard to kill. So TA2000 is going to dump the boys off at the pool and see if they can take a tier 2 tower.
Middle tower is under attack.
They'll be able to get this Naga Siren who's just trying to cut waves as well.
So again, just beautiful execution coming in from the Cyber Geese. Just feels like they're splitting their resources in the correct ways, you know, making sure, okay, we only need Problems plus Chiro Jr. to be able to take down Shigetsu. All right, TA2000, you can solo push for a tier 2 tower. What? Meanwhile, we've got Solo and Notice who are returning back to this tier 2 to try and get this Naga Siren while she's cutting waves, and then the TB comes back. And it just feels like their resource allocation is really on point. And again, just kind of circling back to, you know, day number 1 of these qualifiers. That's when things start to get really, really scary because what's kind of happening with them? It seems like they've locked it in going into
How
these
quickly are they
next
going to be able to take this? Quick enough, it seems, before the Song of the Siren is available. It could have been a potential for them to try and contest this, but still had about 10 seconds left on the duration, and they're all just going to get out of dodge together through the Twin Gate. I mean, technically, this is where they want to be playing anyway, right? 21 minutes, Wisdom Rune coming up in about 25 seconds from now. You mentioned hitting the tier 2 tower previously. They don't have the glyph available, so why not just position yourself down here on the bottom side of the map? It doesn't really feel like Runa team is responding effectively enough either to be able to stop them. I mean, Timbersaw's doing it, but I don't think they needed to back off.
You may be feeling like they're close enough to a few more of these extra items coming up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I don't know. Free XP, free tier 2 tower while the glyph's on cooldown. Metamorphosis was available as well. Maybe just fearing the Song of the Siren after what happened previously to Chiro Jr.
That's true. There's a lot of respect being given out there by the Cyber Goose. They understand they're in a quite commanding position right now, especially with the Terror Blade as well as the Conquer just kind of constantly streaming forward, and then the Storm's just going to get to the point where he becomes a much larger menace on the map than they can actually handle.
Tower is under attack.
He's got his BKB as well, so he's going to be feeling very confident to be able to dive in, but he probably wants someone to be able to assist. They will get Queasy off the back of nice shackle.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, didn't see problems in the bottom side of the map, and I was like, oh, maybe with the shackle he's able to live, but no problems. Joins the fray. That means 5.
Do that one.
I learned that one.
They also
from
sing
French class.
How to Save a Life.
Dire's top
What's your
tower is
karaoke
under
go-to
attack.
song? I feel like
It's Untouched by the Broncos.
oh, I love it.
Yeah. Just gets everyone popped up, you know.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's many different Veronica songs that I could easily say for that.
Yeah. But that one's like, yeah. I just
like-
really enjoy the ah la 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 part of it. Yeah.
It was like FIFA 09 as well. Which one of the tracks
Yes.
on that?
It's very funny. I feel like a lot of people following along at home with the amount of references we make, they tend to increase when the games are looking rather static.
Or one-sided.
Yeah.
Cool. You'll be okay, and so we'll notice. Even disabling his Radiance Aura. Making sure that he wasn't revealing himself on the side lanes.
Yeah, only very specific heroes could have stopped him from making that TP, but still didn't want to put himself in harm's way to miss the notice, so they're just going to walk into the Roche pit here. I mean, dotting their I's, crossing their T's, the Cyber Goose, and this is exactly what we'd expect from a team with the players that are on it. A lot of them have been on top of Dota in one way, shape or form, if you like.
Yeah, for sure. And you've even got like more items coming out now. BKB, double BKB, so both Storm and Conquer have it. You've got an Aegis for TA2000, which is essentially as good as a BKB, with how long it's going to take to be able to kill him. With, you know, the Dazzle sitting behind, with the mech that he's got available, Shadow Wave, Weave for all the additional armor.
So there's a lot of different avenues for TA2000 to survive a lot of these ganks, and they are looking towards somebody here, so they will be able to stop the TP here onto the Bristleback. So Alberca, yes, he will get the halberd, but now TA2000 is able to freely go to the front. It's a lot of these few stacks, but it's not the damage that you're afraid of, because everybody else has already gotten out of dodge. Is that Problems in the middle of nowhere? It looks like it's Problems and Notice, who are inside of the base looking to try and get themselves a Naga Siren kill. So the
Still with Mass
fish.
Serpent mods, by the way. TA2000, he literally force-staffed the flag bearer creep, just so that the creep wave would get there a little bit faster on the top side. Acting as a bodyguard a little bit, but also just wanting to disable that backdoor protection. And here we go, Problems. Level 2, Mass Serpent Ward, I would imagine. He's about to drop down. He does. Aggressive Glyph as well.
It just seems very simple, very straightforward for the Cyber Geese. And right now, the avenue is probably the BKB on the Lina, correct? We're going to try and at least get them out of their house, but they've already taken what they wanted and they will just leave.
Lina does have that BKB available for herself, as well as level 18, so lots of burst potential available, and a decent amount of movement speed as well. It's going to need to be the perfect setup. I mean, this is really just off the back of H2O till the end, landing the perfect Song of the Siren to be able to set up onto it. But who do you actually focus is the question. Like, you can't get these perfect stun combinations. It's not like you have a Black Hole or an RP to be able to follow up onto the BKB cores.
And you can just see that Chira Jr. just perfectly says, see you guys up in Naga. Have this fight going. An awful projection is getting themselves forward. TA2000 gets about half HP, gets the Sunder going till the end. Who needed to have the perfect song. Unfortunately, can't sing anymore from the grave. They will walk forward into an Light Striker raid. TA2000 gets about half HP, doesn't have the Sunder to play around with. Still does have 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis though, and they will be able to be kept alive thanks to Mr. Solo.
Yeah,
and
he's got Solo
with that,
backing him up. That's just as good, honestly, as the Aegis or a Sunder. They're doing a phenomenal job so far. Oops, looks like they will get the tower. So it does open up the map a tiny bit more. Back coming through from the Naga Siren. We haven't felt too much of the impact come from till the end so far this game. Not necessarily anything to do with him, it's just how well they've been playing around it in the draft, in terms of being able to pick these heroes that just don't care about all the illusions, that are able to even counter them when you pop the knock-off protection and the poison touch. And always seems to be priority number one for the Cyber Geeks to be able to just take out this Naga that can look to reset a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the game plan for them, right? Is walk forward, take down the Naga Siren, they don't have to worry about the song. And then at that point, it's like, how do they really team fight if you're the side of Runa team? You would have hoped it would have been off the back of a Lina with a BKB, or maybe Nikki Cool can kind of create a bit of chaos for you, but they've just been so far ahead for all these different heroes from the side of the Cyber Geese. They can just freely do whatever they want. TA2000 goes about half HP. Queasy though. Oh my god, that is so much damage from Shira Jr. 2 attempts to get to the low ground, 2 of them failed.
Last glyph too, so better be making something out of this team fight. I mean, you've still got 50 seconds left on that Aegis though, and they're not exactly doing a great job of dealing with these Mass Serpent wards either.
Yeah, they're getting through a few of them now, so they will be able to get through the majority of it, not without the tier 3 tower going down though, so they will be losing another lane of racks here, it seems like momentarily, on TA2000, 30 seconds left, they come back in once once again. She gets to about half HP, has to pop that BKB, so on the Siren. But there's BKBs once again here from Notice. They want to see if they can try and wait out TA2000 with this Aegis. But there's 25 seconds left for him to do whatever he wants. Just goes for a nice early Sunder to try and get a little bit of tempo in this fight. But now with TA2000, pops a Demon's Hill, wants to try and go in and hit some creeps. 15 seconds left on the Aegis. Have to be careful for that if you're TA2000.
They're going to back
8
off.
seconds left, they're going to back off.
Radiant are scanning.
Alright. It's somewhat of a defense, I suppose. Didn't have to buy back on anyone. You had to use the Song of the Siren, though, which... It's so rough, because it's like, it's your initiation and it's your defense, and you need it for healing. And like, how are you supposed to actually utilize something that just now got leveled up to level 2, so it's still got a 2-minute, 10-second cooldown on it.
Noticed is sitting in a very forward position. Solo to sit behind him as well, though, so you have to be very, very careful about going the high ground here, so Notice will be okay. But half HP on the Conquer, but as we're starting to look towards the rest of this map, they have just sent TA2000's Illusions to go deal with the bottom side, walking towards that Tier 2 tower and start knocking on the door again.
I'm honestly a little surprised that we haven't seen more of Till the End's Illusions looking to try and cut waves, right? I mentioned it before with the Deluge facet, just being able to split them up across the map, get the Deluge going, and 377 damage being done to multiple waves should at least be able to stop every single wave from pushing into your base at once. That's really where Cyber Geese are overwhelming Runa team, it seems.
Yeah, they're just being able to choke out the map, right? They've just been locked inside their base for probably the last 5-10 minutes. And it's a bit of an exponential gold lead where it's just, you're getting so much more gold, they're getting so much less gold. It's hard for them to try and fight. Notice, they found it. Till the end, caught outside of the base. 12 for the level, and unfortunately for her, she will lose the life of the Naga Siren. It's Chira Jr. gets another galvanized stack, and 67 seconds on the sideline without your Naga Siren. At least get the kill there onto Solo, but now Alberca,
Nice shot.
fortunately, is starting to face towards TA2000. Look at all the damage that comes in from this Terrorblade standing on the high ground, takes down Queasy as well. It's double kill for TA2000, and potentially the end of the game here at the 30-minute mark. Shigetsu, looking to try and do something, but a Shigetsu defense with just a Timber Saw, it's looking likely that this is going to be another full lane of racks, and the Cyber Geese marching towards a map 1 victory.
Yes, indeed. I mean, it was Problems that was drawing on the minimap, basically saying, hey, this is where they're looking to set up, this is how they're trying to cut the waves, let's kill this Naga Siren, let's try and finish off the Problems again. He's the one. Yep.
Nikki Cool, unfortunately, is not going to be able to stand for much longer. Shigetsu, yes, with the BKB, is able to get away from the X-Master spot, but it's all the damage coming in from TA2000, and we're going to have Mega Creeps in just a moment here for Cyber Goose.
That's not what you wanted to use that BKB for. You want to use it for that uninterrupted right click. Even the Manta dodge coming through there from TA2000, avoiding the shackle.
He's starting to feel it now, and they're starting to feel the pain on the side of Runa team. They will get shackled up here on Nikki Cool. Chira Jr. is low on mana, so he does not have that little bit of extra damage to be able to go through the rest of this fight. So I'm going to Siren, though. Double BKB from the side of the Cyber Goose, and we'll get the light tracker right here out onto no problem. Just going to walk forward. Oh, that's Alina. She gets caught out. She has no BKB, but the disarm's big there onto the Terrorblade. TA2000 force starts in towards the backside of this team fight. Wants to try and get it going, but the GGs have been dropped already, and that will be a first victory here for the Cyber Geese in their lower bracket run to tomorrow. And it's going to be on, I feel like, the Runa team to prove us wrong here in this second game, to try and push us to a third and see if we can continue the trend in Eastern Europe of 3-game series.
Something tells me that might not be the case this time around. I mean, I'm very confident with how Chira Jr. was able to play that game number 1. And yes, you don't have the... God, such an old guy. I keep forgetting the names. The old facet where you can just boundless something, jumping between trees.
Oh, Simeon Stride.
That's the one. Where you're just able to really get on top of the Drow Ranger and make her life hell. And then if that's the case, then TB is just going to be able to take over the game.
Yeah.
So he's gone the changing of the guard facet instead, which really useful for a lot of these team fights. And if you're on point, you might even be able to dodge out a Ravage or two. But I just think that it's way too... You might get one use out of the Sonic Wave from the Quap, And then by the time it's up again, you need to set up with Song of the Siren into Ravage into Quap ulti. And that's going to be the case for pretty much every single team fight, you know? So it just comes a matter of, all right, well, don't clump up right on top of each other and we're not going to lose these fights.
And I feel like there's also just those big windows in between all of those ultimates being back up again. That there is quite a lot of room to move for the Cyber Goose. So we'll see. It seems like there's an uphill battle already here for Runa team to be able to overcome this very strong team in the lower bracket. And this will be something they'll have to look towards here. So they are starting out to try and win out these lanes for the opener and get themselves off to a good start. So far, haven't really seen anything crazy. There was no real shenanigans in the opening couple of minutes. So I guess the question is now for the heroes on the side of Cyber Goose. Are you just expecting a very straightforward kind of tri-core coming in from them with, Chira Jr. just going this straightforward kind of build BKB into maybe like an Echo Saber, maybe a farming item? Or would you like to see him be a little bit more aggressive with things like a Mage Slayer, etc.?
I wouldn't hate the Mage Slayer. I think it's just one of those items that it reduces the damage quite heavily, but also gives you a lot of protection, in the form of what it passively has, and considering a lot of the stuff that you're up against, the Dark Willow, the Quap, sure, not the Sonic Wave, but everything else that she's got in her toolkit, plus the Dagon. It's going to be nice just to be able to keep yourself alive.
It's true. So, we'll see what the builds are going to be for a lot of these different players. I'm definitely looking at Alberca as well to see what kind of build he wants to go for, whether or not he's going to rush towards that Blink Dagger or feeling like a lot more of this Guardian Greaves, Pipe, Crimson Guard is the way to go. And then you get the Blink Dagger as kind of like a secondary or tertiary even item as they get deeper into the game.
Doesn't really feel like a pipe game to me. I'm just able to get away, and Solo doing a decent job of trading as well. It doesn't feel like a great pipe game for the Tide Hunter, because look at all the damage that you've got coming through. Where is the magic? It's basically just Power Shot and Double Edge. That's about it. Everything else is going to be physical.
TA. TA 2000 is dead here. Looks into a bramble and Cops at Alberca with the first blood. So we said they needed to start fast, and it's exactly what they do. TA 2000 just copped a couple of clicks there. I think he copped like one too many anchor smashes, and that was it. Yeah, it's just auto attacks from the Dark Willow.
It's caught in place a little bit too much, slowed down by the Gush. Dark Willow isn't a bad right clicker as well by any stretch. She's able to pretty frequently win out on a lot of trades just due to a good attack animation, and goes from good to better, being able to get this pull off. You get the Lotus Rune.
Problems. This is a deluge.
Yeah, they do, but he's going to be able to back off in time. He has the healing Lotus to be able to play around with too.
It's true. What are they? Tango regen. So first blood going the way here of Runa team, and looking to see if they can continue the rest of this for their lanes. Just having a quick little check in here. Mid lane, Chira Jr. is putting the smackdown on Nikki Cool. 20 and 10 against 11 and 2. This is not a start that you want for your Queen of Pain, considering this is your last overall pick.
Definitely not, but I don't know. I think they just wanted, a response to the Stampede. He's even got the Orb of Frost to be able to really not right-click a few of these creeps, and getting a little bit too antsy with that Orb of Frost in the mid lane. As we look up top, Solo, he's getting focused down as well. No.
Oh, he got around the corner. Queasy.
Bot lane, though.
Shadow Realm. And as you said, bottom lane, they take down notice. Chira Jr. had a 10-stick or 9-stick charge. And he had Jingu stacks.
Yep. He'd already used his Boundless, but
It was going off cooldown though.
I don't know.
That was interesting. Anyways, I was singing his praises when he dies in a 1v1. So maybe I should have shut my mouth. TA 2000. Copping it now. It's a big shadow wave though from Solo. Alberca is doing a really, really good job here in this top lane on the Tide Hunter. Him and Queasy are just putting smackdown on TA2000. It's just so much of this HP just keeps swinging away from him.
I think no one's died under the effects of Anchor Smash, so he hasn't got any of this Kraken swell bonuses coming through. Would be very useful to have, as once again noticed is a fair amount of right clicks just coming his way. He is off the back of the turnaround potential though. They went for their own aggressive attempt first, but also meant that you were losing a lot of creeps underneath this bottom tier 1 tower. Ooh, Shiketsu, gotta be a little careful here. Lucky he had the infused raindrops, otherwise that would have been a kill.
Sometimes raindrops remind me that they are potentially one of the strongest items in the game, especially this early on. So the side step will come in here from Shigetsu, and notice now with the hoof stomp, the kill shot isn't there in time. Oh, the dodge there with the mirror image as well till the end. He's going to be able to just get far enough away. I thought he was going to be able to live here. Problems.
Good
Yeah,
micro.
now Shigetsu's just got the frost arrows, and that's going to be it.
I find it easy.
Monkey King's here though, although they see it. Never mind. Maybe yes.
Junior.
Oh,
Auburn Frost, the side step. 1, 2. Nikki Fool's here as well. 3. Chira Jr.
oof.
Ooh, that's a
Heal.
lot of damage. I feel like he's just getting a little bit too overzealous with boundless striking to get the Jingus instead of boundless striking after the Jingu.
It's a lot of vision down on this bottom side as well. 2 observer wards pretty damn close to each other.
Ooh.
He's still hungry for more.
That kill shot was getting close.
Primal Spring about to come through from the monkey.
Easy. Stuck in an awkward spot here, so they're just going to drop the Wukong's command. The kill shot is enough to at least bring them in range for Chira Jr. to get that kill. It looks like there's a lot of emphasis being put towards the bottom side of this map till the end, though. Still gets nice and healthy off of that stick, Chira Jr. with a nice little dodge there to be able to get away from the stream of pain. And it is just Chira Jr.
Denied.
going to lose his life once again. And as you said, a deny and Shigetsu now wanting to come forward and get that kill onto the Monkey King is going to turn around and give the kill to Notice. And it looks like the Cyber Goose were starting to get cooked, but they've turned around and now they've honked.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Untitled
tower
Goose
is
game.
under attack.
Oh no. This
I
is...
feel like they're just like a cybernetic goose from like Cyberpunk set 2076 and just being like,
Is that the noise that you wanted me to make
Yeah.
before? Okay.
goose locked in, honk, honk. Like rocket arms or something.
Oh, that would be sick.
That would be my ultimate upgrade. Just be like Barrett in Final Fantasy VII.
Could 100 of those geese kill a gorilla, a silverback gorilla?
Yes, if they had rocket arms, yes. Undoubtedly so.
Tower is under attack.
I mean, geese are ferocious for their like size. So
That's true, they got little teeth as well.
do they actually?
Yeah, they got backwards facing teeth. Look it up. Actually, don't look it up.
Okay.
It's going to be gross. Problems? Wants to try and get the deny, but it's the Shadow Realm.
A lot more action this game though compared to previous. A lot of it not necessarily what they were wanting to receive from Runa team, but Shigetsu is still already part of more kills than he was the entire previous game, just 8 minutes in, so that's a good sign.
Dire's top
Big
tower
start
is
for
under
Runa
attack.
team. They started out nice and quick here. Be able to put some pressure back onto Cyber Goose, and I feel like that's a good showing for this team to get themselves back into this series. You need to show this team that you're not afraid of them. You're not going to go into your shell. You're not going to just fall back here. So Alberca is going to try and go for an early Vlad. Solo loses his courier, which just has a TP on it.
Man, they actually
more annoying.
ping exactly where Drow was farming as well. They know on point. This comes from just frequent playing of pubs where this man is going to be. Overlaying their stuns a little bit, so might get gusted out of the Wukongs. No, not going to be enough to be able to save him.
Yeah, so being able to take down the Drow Ranger is a big start here. So that means now that they can put the pressure on the tier 1 tower, thanks to Noticed, who's got that Vanguard up and available. They will be losing their mid tier 1 tower here, but I think they're more than happy with taking the tower trades. I think he'd only killing Shigetsu, but
Top side,
Solo,
though.
yeah, he's trying to get his level 6, and Alberca's going to be able to chase him down here. Doesn't want to pop the Ravage. Doesn't have the extra kind of damage either. So the Bramble Maze, Solo will dodge that up for now, but walks into Queasy, who hits him with the Shadow Realm, and that will be another kill going the way here of the Tidehunter.
Thought he could live for another second or two, was holding on to the shallow grave, but oh well. Still, he didn't really delay much of anything either, right? Like, the creep wave's still coming in pretty strong. Yeah, they did lose the tier 1 tower bot on Runa team while this was happening, but they got mid, like we were saying, and they're going to get their own tier 1 tower top as well. So, you'd have to say that's a far better trade for Runa team at this stage. Remember how important it is if you are going to have a few of these heroes that just like to, you know, sit in the side lanes, pick up a little bit more of this quote-unquote safe farm, in particular the TB with the real hero, and just let the illusions do a lot of the lane cutting. So the fact that they've already taken away that top tower just 10 minutes in without the siege creep.
Junior
Nice.
being found out here, but yeah, notice with the correct usage there of the Stampede, being able to get Chira Jr. away from all of the pesky stuns that keep him in place, especially the reel in.
Not the real in. It's not getting
Yeah,
greedy
we've
either
seen-
with going full. Never mind. He is with getting one of those creeps, so won't really have the tools to be able to get away. Just gets away in time as the Scream of Pain is about to reach him, drops the Mischief. But very easily a death for him. Wonder if they do want to give till the end just a little bit of this farm in the lane. Not farm, but XP. Having that that combination available is huge.
Ooh, I thought they were going to try and go there under the Tidehunter. Bit of a hard kill. I think they're going to definitely need more than just 3 heroes. Even with the Centaur, can they kill him? I don't know. Feels like it needs to be TB plus meta to try and kill the Tidehunter at this point. TA2000 loses his courier there to Queasy.
Not ideal, and neither is getting caught out.
He's going to lose a lot of his life here to the Dark Willow.
Uses meta, but Willow's getting away.
Yeah. Now Burka's here as well, cutting that creep wave, and he doesn't want to have any of the snacks that the Tidehunter's trying to bring in.
Even just TP's back to this tier 2 tower on the top side, so not moving across the map. Doesn't have the Yasha completed because of the courier going down. Doesn't get a kill. Doesn't have TP now to be able to move around freely, so a little restrictive as a result of this, and Alberca sees where he's looking to try and pick up some of this farm. So not the worst past few minutes for Runa team. Now they've also got the Song of the Siren, so if they wanted to start making a bit of a smoke move up towards the top side, it could work out really well for them.
Especially if they connect onto TA2000, like you were saying. It's a big injection of gold. Could be the potential.
Just on the hunt right now is this soul tree. Just a tree. Nothing to worry about. You don't want to go on to them when Naga Siren is right there, having shown on the lane.
You
Let's-
can't dive a tier 2 tower. All it takes is Tidehunter to TP and Ravage and everybody's dead.
Depends if Centaur's there, though. If Centaur's there, I think you have enough damage to kill the Drow. And
Radiant's middle
then you just stampede.
Oh, he tried to walk away there with the gauntlet. Go forward here, does pop the blade mail, does have the Stampede to try and play around with as well, but with the reel in, they were able to finish it off. So, Chira, please don't. Glad that he
Wants to.
thought secondly about that.
Hasn't really been achieving too much, though, off the back of a lot of these early rotations. Like, yeah, the one onto the Drow was really nice, but he's fallen a full level behind the Queen of Pain now. He's not doing anything to be able to help with taking a lot of these towers, and yeah, you just have a compare with Runa team. All tier 1 towers gone now, so a lot less space for TV to be able to farm. Monkey King isn't prioritizing farm, he's prioritizing just getting objectives or getting gank kills, but really nice TP movements coming through from Runa team to be able to stop this.
Gonna try there on Alberca.
I don't know about this. You're
Wants to see if he
quickly
can try
trying
and
to
fight
come
with
on
the
problems.
Wisdom Rune, but even inside of the entirety of this Wukong's command, he at least gets himself out thanks to the changing of the guard.
He's just going to get further and further behind, though. He's straight up hasn't accomplished anything in terms of his net worth in the past, like, 2 minutes, which only 14 minutes into the game is a pretty big deal.
Well, Nicky Cool finds out another by being able to take down problems. And this game is slowly starting to slip away here from the Cyber Geese. We said that Runa team needed to have a good start and continue to do that ball rolling. They've been able to do that.
Pinging out tier 2000 as well, exactly where he's looking to farm. Got Alberca nearby, still yet to use a Ravage, but doing a great job regardless. The thing is though, for Cyber Goose, they've got a bunch of items just about to come. You're going to have the Aghanim Shard shortly. You're going to have Blink Dagger on Centaur shortly. You're going to have Maelstrom on Monkey King shortly. You're going to have Manta Style shortly. So it's a bunch of stuff that you're going to be able to A, either more effectively push out a lot of these lanes, or B, take a few more team fights with a much higher level of success.
Are scanning.
It is true. A lot more of these farming items are starting to come up, and I think Notice is just quietly achieving in the sidelines as well. Getting himself a Vanguard as well as his Blade Mail, getting close towards that Blink Dagger. He's about, what, 500 gold away from that now? A little bit more than that, 600 gold. So, once that picks up, then probably looking to try and go a little bit further into the other side of the map here for Cyber Goose.
Really complimenting Shigetsu getting a whole lot more active, but honestly, kind of wants to dodge fights now.
Finding Chira Jr. and they're just going to dump everything on him.
Is under
They didn't even use the Ravage, they just jumped in, Sonic Waves, took down the Monkey King.
They're going to go for more. See
They still have
them
the
farming
Ravage.
roughly around the top side. Yep, still having the Ravage. Will they have the damage to be able to pick this up? Dagon's got about 10 seconds left on it.
Radiant are scanning.
We're going to find him.
Found the real one.
Solo is very far out, but look at how quick he is thanks to the Stampede. Did just walk in towards Nicky Cool though. Does have the Arcane Rune available. They want to see if they can try and get this fight going. They catch out Solo as well. Out comes the Ravage, seeing if they can get on top of anyone. They just don't have the damage. They Ravage and nothing happens. Now we're trying to see this fight work out. They're getting a lot of these members coming forward, walking in towards a lot of these different heroes. The kill shot though takes down the Nagasara, and Chiro Jr. will stun the rest of his teammates thanks to that cursed crown, and now Notice is here as well. The Centaur War Runner wants to try and avenge his buddies. The first Ravage of the game doesn't really work out for much. They know exactly where Nicky Cool went. They saw him in the area. They've been able to find the Queen of Pain. They get the stun out one more time here. Does have this Arcane Rune to try and stand here and fight as well. The Dark Ruler wants to come in and see if she can try and take this out. The Stomp does stop onto the TP away. So unfortunately for Queasy, it was a nice little attempt, but it was thwarted by the center.
Just getting a little bit too deep. I was really surprised that they would continue to dive there, considering, you know, again, no Sonic Wave. Yeah, you had the Dagon, but it's not the damage that you needed to be able to contest up against that. And now you've also got a Blink Dagger on Noticed as well. So they choose to stick around thinking, you know what, no Metamorphosis, we could take this fight. Might be sorely mistaken.
Yeah, it really did kind of start to scratch my head when they hit the Ravage, and it didn't feel like they did anything. It was kind of just like a Ravage, and they went, okay, cool. Now what?
Yeah,
and
needs to be
nothing really
Ravage into Sonic Wave, into... I mean, just Drow being there as well would have been the difference, but that's not what Shigetsu is focused on at this point of the game. He's only 600 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, so absolutely could look to change at that stage, but for now, he's just continuing to play his regular farm-heavy style.
Which is a good insurance policy for when those ganks don't go their way for the side of Runa team.
True.
So, nice little
Kinda like what
injection
we were
of
talking
gold
about.
going back the way of Cyber Geese. Chira Jr. gets veered away directly out of his Wukong's command. He wants to see if he can try and fight, but unfortunately for him, too many calls going into his face. And ooh. Right, well,
Problems is okay, no problems. Chira Jr.'s got a few though. I mean, he's nearly built up into the BKB, so at least he's going to be able to stand his ground a lot more reliably, but could still get pushed out of the Wukongs off the back of Sonic Wave. Alright, here we go. Drow's got Ags up. Tide has Ravage. Tide has Blink Dagger. Go time is now.
Head walking a bit. They're supposed to contest you. Don't think they can. I mean, maybe Notice can try and jump in and see if they can do some sneaky sneakies, but Without Chira Jr. having this BKB, I don't see anything happening.
It's far more important to just secure his own scaling, which, I mean, he has caught up a little bit, which is nice, compared to the Queen of Pain. He's not where this net worth is coming from. It's really just banking on TA2000 to be able to get the job done.
And that's been the issue that we've seen here from Chira with his Monkey King, is it really does feel like that sometimes in a lot of the games that we've watched with Cyber Goose, it just feels like with the Monkey King he does kind of focus a little bit too much on being that ganking hero rather than getting those early couple of items and then being able to use that to gank across the map. So gonna have to play catch up this time around here and really rely on TA2000, but they've got another couple of minutes before they can start thinking about a fight with Shigetsu having this Aegis of the Immortal.
Really like the Ghost Scepter purchase that Alberca's got queued up as well. I mean, he just wants to get in the thick of things. They're nowhere near going a Nullifier or anything like that. And he's going to be able to continuously use the Anchor Smash, even in that ethereal form. So, a lot of damage reduction with none of the downsides.
Especially now that he has Dead in the Water as well. So just being able to blink in Dead in the Water someone and then just pop that Ghost Scepter and run around, and how they're supposed to deal with him once he comes out of it. They have the damage taken down. So Tormentors are up and available. On the bottom side of the map though, you can see that TA2000 is just constantly trying to push out these waves. I think it's going to be another couple of items until he's going to be more than ready to try and fight. Alright, Chiraju... Okay. Alright.
Not willing to pop the Sonic Wave that time. Probably wouldn't have killed him, to be fair, but... This is the sort of ballsy play that you need to be making though, right? Like, you need to be shoving out lanes. You need to be forcing them to stop just getting objectives for free. They had an idea that they weren't in the Tormentor area because of a Observe Ward placed down there previously by problems.
Shigetsu? He's stuck in no man's land. He's by himself. There is nobody here. They are leaving it. This is two deaths.
Aegis
They're coming.
does have... No, they're not.
No, they're not. He's just dead twice. That's a massive blunder by Runa team and Shigetsu. Now they're going to leave out for the Tormentor. That was... that's a punishment. That's a big punishment. It looks like it potentially could have been a big call coming in from TA2000 with the tips that were coming in there as well. And they found out Shigetsu. They get 2 kills on him. And they get the entire Tormentor. And now they get to gank towards the bottom side of the map as well.
Do indeed, or at the very least, just fix the lanes nice and easily, which seems like will be the case for Chira Jr. Got his BKB picked up now, and at level 12, again, not the worst. Only 1 level behind the Queen of Pain at this stage versus the 2 or 3 that he was previously. Yeah, like, that is just overconfidence coming off the back of an Aegis. If a tier 1 tower was still there, totally understand it from Drow Ranger, right? But it was just no way for the rest of his team to be able to join in. It's not like they had Stampede to potentially provide the reinforcements.
Especially because I believe that Alberca either didn't have a TP or was still on cooldown. And he's not within touching distance to be able to respond to that. To at least be able to respond to the second life. It's just, you have no right to be where you were. And big punish though from the Geese, Cyber Goose. Now this let's kick them into gear here for Runa team. So it looks like they are posturing up to get themselves a full 5-man smoke. Looking to see if they can get a team fight going. Ravage at the ready. Amplified damage rune as well here on Nikki Cool.
I see problems.
Deal with the mid lane.
Backing off. Not the target that you want, but you're just hoping that he's going to lead you to someone else. And he does, kind of, sort of. Gush in range.
He's buying so much time, man.
Yep.
This is just all this time. They're not hitting creeps. They're not pushing for an objective. You get to just walking around them. You're definitely happy with that if you're the side of Cyber Goose. All the meanwhile, Chira Jr. has been able to hit creeps. He's slowly starting to catch up to everybody here. Same thing with Notice. He's got a full BKB now as well. TA2000 getting close towards that Skadi.
mean, the thing with Chira Jr. is he just has no farming items, right? Like, not even the Maelstrom. He opted to go for the BKB, just assuming that there would be team fights coming sooner rather than later, and it really has hindered him in terms of his ability to keep up with the rest of these other cores. So, let's see if he's able to pick that one up shortly. He's not too far away, only about 600 gold, so could be the case that he's able to yoink that one in pretty quickly. Depends what his priority is, right? Going for that, or just being a bit more of this utility style and just getting on top of the Drow Ranger and staying there. But you have to imagine that now that Noticed has his own Blink Dagger, that's something that he can be responsible for.
Yeah. Really get up in her face, pop that blade mail, just stand on top of her, just have all of this armor and just stare her in the face and see what she can do. Force her to reposition, force her to pop these BKBs early. Just have the Ags though, so the hypothermia can be a bit of a problem for the Centaur, but the way the game is starting to pan out now, they're really starting to get those catch-up mechanics coming in here for Cyber Goose, whereas for the side of Runa team, they took a lot of these outer towers and now they just haven't really done much for the last couple of minutes. Outside of that blunder from Shigetsu in the top side of the map, there really hasn't been much to write home about here for Runa team.
It might just be the case of wanting BKBs, you know, like you just got Song of the Siren upgraded with the Aghanim Shard. Not too much yet to come for the Tide Hunter. He's going for a Shiva's Guard, which, you know, I guess pretty decent against the Dazzle, considering he's got the Guardian Greaves, he's got the Shallow Wave, of course. I don't know, though. It still does feel like they should be in a more commanding position just because of how relatively weak this Monkey King has been, but he's not anymore. Like, this is the basic stuff that he needs to be able to really be a threat in a lot of these team fights.
Problems got caught out being a nuisance in the jungle, trying to get some vision up, trying to figure out some safe and not so safe places. Found out there by the Dark Willow. So Scardy's at the ready now for Mr. TA2000. Has this final ulti orb coming his way, so this is where he's able to be a little bit more annoying for Alberca.
Interested to see what he gets at level 20 for his talent. You know, does he go the Conjure Image duration just to play a little bit more of this rat style, feeling like they need the Monkey King to be a legitimate core, just create some more space? Or does he go the stats and being like, right, we want to do something right here, right now?
Yeah. To wait and see what he wants to do. Smoke's up now, though. Shigetsu, he's up here on the high ground. Doesn't have that BKB just yet. They just walk in, blink on top of the Drow Ranger. So much damage. She's certainly dead. Gale Force will be able to bring her back into the clutches of the Cyber Geese. And again, being able to find out this Drow Ranger completely on her own is just a big kill now for the side of Cyber Goose. So fixing these lanes is what they'll be able to do. Got like, what?
Can't really...
A couple of minutes until the Tormentor's back up? 3-4 minutes?
Yeah, through 4 minutes, I believe. Can't really blame Shigetsu about that one in particular, right? Like, he was farming in a safe-ish place. They just didn't realize the ward position that they had that was basically covering the fact that all of Runa team was away from them. So as soon as they see a high priority target like the Drow Ranger, sometimes you might think, oh, are they standing behind him? I do need to be a little bit concerned, but they knew that the entire Runa team were just completely away from that Drow.
The 80,000 has walked towards the bottom here. Nikki Cool does blink in. Song of the Siren has to reset. So if you use the Song of the Siren now, the Gale Force isn't going to hold anybody back. That was a nice little stun there. They were able to at least catch out the Knight of Siren, so they will get till the end. For one, they don't get the Queen of Pain of Nikki Cool, so they at least get something out of this, but this is where it's starting to balloon back out here for Cyber Goose. They're getting their Stranglehold back on this map here, Matt, and it is very hard for Runa team to try and find the right place to go. Could have potentially missed their window here with Shira Jr. starting to creep back up the net worth.
Well, can see he's even able to just one-shot creep waves now, much more effectively now that he's got a few more of these items, level 15, so the Roshan roaming around. We got the Tree Dance cast range it's just about finding this drow, right? Like, she does have the BKB out for her, though, so... Something to consider. They found her.
Oh, they just found her in the back line here. This is just before she gets off her BKB, but now they're going to try and chase her down with the Stampede as well. The Hypothermia is doing a good job of just keeping them at bay for now. So notice, we'll be able to walk away from this. Again, we're looking to try and see how this fight goes. Everybody splooshed out these ultimate abilities, and nobody's really died just yet. Now the Boundless Strike goes forward. Massive Hoof Stomp comes in there from Notice once again. This Centaur is doing so much work for the Cyber Geese.
Buyback.
They will get the buyback here from Nikki Cool. They go in towards the shallow grave here for Chira Jr. trying to see if he can keep this fight going and stay alive. Does go into the mischief. Doesn't dodge out the final bits of damage. On the backside here, we've got the Drow standing here all alone, stunned up to a tree, but they aren't able to get past the big beefy boys in the front line for Runa team. Again, the Gale Force is keeping them at bay for now. They want to try and re-engage here with Notice, but he's doing such a good job for Nikki Cool to just keep this Notice away from anybody with this Blink Dagger. TA2000 though is getting very, very careful, trying to make sure that he goes into the right position, seeing if he can stand and fight, but it's not going to be enough for them. The Runa team have been able to hold on for just long enough and take down these cores. The fact that Alberca didn't die, the big buyback from Nikki Cool to keep this fight going, meant that Runa team were able to hold on.
He's going to try and get himself away, maybe get the kill onto the Tide Hunter. Won't be the case. No TP to be able to even get away from this aggression, and you just see the impact of that Drow Ranger being able to just sit back on the back lines, completely unopposed to the Terrorblade. She just rips through him.
Yeah, I thought they were able to get the kill there, but it was, I believe it was a double Force-Staff to be able to get him out of dodge there. No, it's just a single Force-Staff and just speedy bits to get out of there. Drow Ranger being found in the back with the Boundless Strike, getting on top from Chira Jr. And there was just a lot of stuff that went on. There was a lot of ultimates that got used, by multiple people. And there was almost nobody that died, but just having to overcommit to try and get on top of the Drow Ranger, not being able to get the kill on Shigetsu, meant that they just stayed far too long, and then the Hypothermia stacks just built up. Like, looking at this, they walk in, TA2000 finds everybody, they go directly onto the Drow, they pop everything. But the fact that TA2000 got hit by the Ravage meant that they didn't have that extra bit of physical burst damage, and as soon as she turns around, with this 800 HP, it's a bit of a hard fight, but now they're going to go in. Noticed is able to snatch the Aegis, so it's good enough time for them to be able to go through that. Shingetsu isn't able to get that BKB off during the Song of the Siren, and now they will be able to walk through once again. Coming forward, seeing if they try and take down Nikki Cool. Oh, the shackle shot there from Problems. Latches into the tree. I was too busy walking through the replay with everybody in Twitch chat that I forgot to look at the real game.
I was like, well, hold on a minute. They've taken Roshan and no one's taken the Aegis. There was even a Song of the Siren used there, but still, no one on Runa team able to pick it up in time. Yeah, very well worth the tip for Noticed. Not necessarily the MVP so far this game, but very impactful. And that is a dieback that you know about from this Queen of Pain. A huge portion of their damage is gone now, so very surprised that they didn't look to try and commit up onto this high ground, which they do, especially with that Roshan's banner, not just the Aegis that they were able to play.
I was going to say, Notice seemed to walk out with everything here, and having the Roche banner means that it is just going to be push city for these creeps. They're able to walk in and just do everything they can to this melee barracks, and that is a full lane. They're going to go directly in on the Drow. They're going to try and throw the fear out. TA2000 though, he's able to walk away from Alberca. He does get leashed up as well himself thanks to the Lotus Orb, so he has to be very, very careful for this, but a lot of those crack and shell stacks means that it is very easy for him to just tank out TA2000 for now. And so a lane of racks is what they get here for Cyber Goose, and they can't get any more because of these tier 2 towers, so they're just going to walk away.
They are going to walk away. I wonder, I guess Crop's coming up in 10 seconds. All of their vision is on the Runa team side of the map, right? And this is obviously the most clear, hold on, surely they de-ward it, thing to be walking past, but they're just leaving it up here, even with a gem on till the end. Walks past one of those clear high ground observer wards, and they haven't removed it. They're going to go past, actually they're probably not even going to see this observer ward to the left hand side of the Ancients, but it's expired anyway. But yeah, all of the vision essentially that's been placed down is just in super aggressive spots on the Runa team side of the map.
And it just enables them to be able to play this aggressive style that they want to. That's why they're trying to smoke up here as well. They see that the gem is out and about. Hello. They can try and push. See ya.
No buyback.
That was Queasy.
summary say?
They want to see if they can pressure this tier 2 tower here, Danog. They've gotten into such a good position where they've been able to really wrangle this game back, and TA2000 is becoming the man on the map.
Oh, sure. It just comes down to, like... So he did go the Conjure Image duration as well. So I feel like that's just so much more versatile, right? One, for continuously sieging. Two, you don't need to use it just to, like, rat in a losing situation, right? You could just say, be, like you said, the man on the map. Like, you're always having to contend against these freaking TB illusions, and you don't have any instant ways to be able to get rid of them outside of the Quap Dagon.
Alright, they're looking to try and fight here on the left-hand side. Notice goes in, gets the two stomp. Now they have to be careful of the backline. Go directly into Solo. He loses his life straight away. TA2000 though turns back around. Big Sunder there onto the Tide Hunter. And they're going to try and get the reset button here from till the end. So they at least keep the Nagasaran at bay for now. BKB is still available for a lot of these other heroes, and Nagasaran goes down. Once again, notice. Getting very, very low here. He has to be careful of the hypothermia stacks. He's going to go into the backup.
Good
shackle there on the Drow and the Dark Willow in the background, and bang goes the Boundless Strike, taking the Dark Willow out of this map. TA2000 though has to be careful. Notice wants to try and get on top of Shingetsu. Isn't able to take down the Drow Ranger. Now with a few more of these buybacks, TA2000, he's getting oh so low. How long till he has this Sunder up and available? 4 seconds, and he goes in from Nicky Cool. He wants to get this fight going. They take him down. So they lose TA2000, and Shira Jr. isn't able to stand and fight and take down the Naga, but they do lose the Drow in the backline, as you said. Thank you for problems. And he's been able to take more of this damage. They go back in towards the backlines here between Notice as well as till the end. And not really many of these calls left available for all this damage. And it is mainly just the wet noodles that try and have the fight at the end and see who comes out on top. But massive fight there for the Cyber Geese.
I want to just have a look at the Drow death, right? Like at the very end, it was a power shot. It was just all of that pure damage coming through, and a few unfortunate hits into the Centaur blade mail that end up taking her out. Power of that power shot, man. Like 550 damage, half of it magic, half of it pure, towards the very end. I mean, that is pretty hard to have to contend into. And even just going the level 15 talent with a power shot reduction, it really does amp up in the middle of these team fights with all the illusions how effective it's going to be. The drop off is nowhere near as severe as what it used to be.
Well, have a look at it here. You can see Notice starts out on the Dark Willow, and they aren't able to convert that straight away. But the fact that TA2000 is able to get off that first Sunder means that he's just able to reset the fight. They did use a lot of the BKBs.
Yeah,
to try
that's
and
the
keep
big thing.
Going.
That's the big thing that I was seeing. Like, I was clicking through at this point. Drow still hasn't used the BKB. So, you know, they're going in. They're still able to get the kill somehow onto Alberca off the back of all of this. And a great shackle on the sidelines to kind of take them out, get the quick kill onto the Dark Willow. And only now does the BKB get used. So it was really good patience coming through from Shigetsu so that that doesn't happen. But still, despite all of this, you're still able to contribute towards the latter end of the fight. You can come through with problems and, yeah, able to get that kill onto the Drow Ranger. It's just such a clutch blink shackle that he's able to get like 3 separate times in that team fight and get away with a gem.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing for me from problems, was just being able to constantly find the Drow. Like, not so much about the damage that he was doing. Obviously, he got the kill on her, thanks to the power shot, but it was more so the fact that he was just getting himself in positions in such a narrow corridor on that left-hand side of the map to just constantly keep getting these shackles going. And there was never really a good opportunity for Shigetsu to get into that fight, and that just meant that it was basically a 4 versus 5 just off the back of a lot of the CC coming in from problems. So big showing here for them.
It's going to become even harder moving forward as well, right? Because now he's level 20. He's got a longer shackle shot duration, and he's about 200 gold away from the Scythe of Vice. So blink, Scythe of Vice, get a power shot in, shackle after the fact. It's just way too much damage that they're going to have to contend with. So BKB or not, Drow Ranger has some damage issues coming, and I wonder if they're going to show it all.
They found out Shigetsu. They are trying to do as much damage as they possibly
It's a
can.
good
They've freshly
song.
picked up Ag. Scepter has been able to keep Shingetsu alive. But the BKBs have been used. Now the Nullifier going directly in onto the Titan. Trying to see if they can get through the Ethereal. They do get the Moonstop coming out. He at least gets himself away. Has to Ravage to stay alive because he doesn't have buyback. So Alberca, no Ravage! They get him anyways. Oh, the snipe from Problems. Give him the tips, give him the high fives, give him the whatever he wants. So 100 seconds now with no Tide Hunter. To be fair, it was no Ravage either. Takes those auras off the field. Here we go. Notice goes into the background. Shingetsu doesn't have the BKB. All he has is the Shadow Blade, and it doesn't matter. It's too much damage. And the Cyber Geese have been able to pull this game back from what looked like a very dominant start for the side of Runa team. It is all about now looking at the Cyber Gooses and seeing how they come into this game and really show why these guys are a very good contender in this Eastern European qualifier. And also showing that potentially they are down
Another
here so
shot.
early on. Does a lot of damage there up against Nikki Cool. Has to pop the BKB here on the Queen of Pain. So the rule of thumb in Eastern Europe is do not GG until your Ancient does die. That's what we're going to get here from the Runa team. It is also back to the wall kind of stuff. Lose this game, you are out of the tournament. And you can just see right now that the Cyber Geese, they are focusing directly on this Ancient. We've got 30 seconds left until we have 2 more members back to the side of the Runa team. Nikki Cool goes down. Then comes the Nullifier and the Hoof Stomp. That's another hero dead without buyback. And it is the GGs get called. And it's just going to be TA2000 hitting the Ancient and making sure of this one. But there is no doubt in my mind that the Cyber Geese have leveled up here in this lower bracket. It was dicey. Very.